As strange as it sounds, the country has two currencies. I would personally argue that the embargo has probably prolonged the Castro regime, and had it ended a few decades ago, Cuba probably would have been under a far greater direct US influence and have already been a capitalist democracy like virtually every other Latin American country since the 1980s. After all, Cuba is still a dictatorship, the longest lasting Latin American dictatorship. But by and large, it was less brutal than many of the US-backed regimes, such as those in Chile and Argentina. With the threat of communism gone, the US lost interest in the regime and let Latin Americans do as they wish. The threat of communism gone, the US lost interest in the regime and let Latin Americans do as they wish. To this day, Cuba has some elements of a planned economy, but it has more market element capitalist forces ever since the Soviet Union collapsed. Cooperatives are common, but there's been a slow uptick of private property, and to this day, most of the economy is based off of agriculture and tourism. As strange as it sounds, the country has two currencies. The first is the national peso used by the Cuban people, and the other one is a convertible peso used mostly by tourists. There have also been the creation of certain small businesses, such as small family-owned restaurants and very small-scale farms, but nothing on par with a megacorporation. On an international level, Cuba has crept closer to many other anti-American nations like Venezuela and Nicaragua in the nearby neighborhood, as well as fairly close relations with countries that are authoritarian like Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea. To this day, Cuba, alongside Vietnam, is one of the very few quasi-socialist states, and even that's starting to become more and more debatable.